Are we live? Can't tell.
We are live.
There we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Comics Della Morte, episode 107, with the returning guest, Dan Price, to talk more about a really great comic series that I love, Bigfoot Hinagon. Is that how it's pronounced?
Hinagon, but Bigfoot Knows Karate, and yeah, the new book is Hinagon.
Yeah, Bigfoot Knows Karate. Yep. hmm Awesome.
Yeah,
So, for anybody who
absolutely.
hasn't seen, anyone who hasn't seen Dan with the last Kickstarter when it was Halloween Man versus the Latex Avenger. He was on, really good show. Then his co-writer was on to talk about Bigfoot Knows Karate the first time. But for anybody watching that doesn't know, you just tell a little bit about people, about who you are and how you came into comics as like a career.
Sure. First of all, thanks so much for having me back tonight. I really appreciate it.
Not a
Yeah,
problem.
no, yeah, man. In fact, real quick, the guy Drew Edwards, who I did the Halloween Man Meets Latex Avenger comic with, we just had dinner. We just had ramen together at a place in here in Baltimore for right before Baltimore Comic Con. So that's just a little side note there. But my name is Dan Price, and I am a indie comic creator from Austin,
Awesome.
Texas. Yeah, man, and I have worked on several titles, including Latex Avenger. That was my very first independent comic. Then I moved over to a book called Masters of the Obvious with Hound Comics. And then
hmm
Excelsi-ish, The Uphill Adventures of a Boy Named Stanley for the Stanley Foundation. And then I've worked on issues of Halloween Man for Drew Edwards, including some material art, the crossover with Latex Avenger, cover art, things like that. And most recently, I've been doing Bigfoot Knows Karate, which is a story of a gentle cryptid warrior who lives in a world where anyone can be the hunter and anyone can be the prey. And we liken it to Godzilla versus Kong meets Kill Bill with a twist. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm a writer, I'm an artist. Depending on the project, I do one or the other, or sometimes both. And I'm
Yeah.
lucky enough to work with a gentleman named Casey Allen, who is my co writer on Bigfoot Knows Karate. And we are currently pushing this new awesome pushing. I don't know. We've got this new project coming up called Bigfoot Knows Karate Hinagon. It has been written by Casey Allen with writing assist by myself and artwork by Bigfoot Knows Karate cover artist Adam Caswell doing the interiors on this book. So which hits Kickstarter on September 20th. That's me in a nutshell, man. There you
Nice.
go.
Yeah. So with the comic, we know that Bigfoot, he's like you said, he's gentle, but he goes around fighting with swords and everything. But what
Sure.
talk a little bit more about this comic? And I know you use in the description, it's kind of like Godzilla in a way. So is like you were saying, like it's a water monster before we went on, like is it like pure elemental or is it like a solid creature and they just fight in that type of element?
Okay, so you're talking about Hinagon. So
Yeah. Mhm.
specifically the new book Hinagon. So when we talk about like the Godzilla versus Kong, we're talking about the monsters and the kaiju and that sort of thing that go on. This particular
Yeah.
issue that the book Hinagon, Bigfoot goes up against Mizuchi, which is like a
Mhm.
which is a Japanese water dragon, and
Pretty
which
sweet.
we're pretty notorious for taking a spin on things when it comes to the different cryptids, kaiju, monsters of legend that we play with
Mhm.
in the comic. Like we in the first book we did Kung Fu Thulu, which was our version of Cthulhu who did martial arts. In the
Yeah.
second issue, We played with a lot of different kaiju and cryptid, or like cryptids and kaiju and that sort of thing, including Chupacabra with a shotgun and the Asterion, the Minotaur, and so many others. With the Mizuchi, a we've really taken an interesting twist with it. Where it's purely, there's not in the physical form. It is purely of water, and so Adam, who's been the cover artist for Bigfoot Knows Karate for the last couple of issues. He always does the covers for our special editions or deluxe editions, as it were. Casey's really tried to write a script that plays to his strength, and and so giving him some freedom to go wild with this artwork and allow the monster that we're dealing with to I don't know, to let Adam really spread his wings with it and just have some fun with it. It's incredible. Okay, let me just say this: like watching this come together is incredible because I started off with this seed of an idea of Bigfoot Knows Karate, and then got to instead. Now I'm watching other people play with the toys, and have a good time with it. That's so rewarding and fulfilling. I know I just jumped the shark on what your question was, but I just had to say that out loud real quick. I think I'm live and I've lost. Oh, there you are.
Yep.
Yeah, did I lose you for a second?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Okay, well, I answered the question, so anybody who was watching you, they got it. But
Yeah.
I,
So
I was like, I think I'm by
so when
myself
you
here for a moment.
right. So when you were creating the storyline and everything, like you
Sure,
were saying you were using like already mythical creatures in that time area.
sure,
Like how fun is it to like really like not just create the characters, but like digging deep into like their origins and like the stories where you're trying to make something new of this character, but trying to use like the basics on who they are. Because as a kid, you know, as an artist, I always love getting those books where you learn how to draw Greek and Roman gods and learning all
right.
about mythology and stuff. So I could see it being really fun where you're just like learning while creating something new just for people who are like not even comic book fans, but people who are fans of that type of culture and mythology.
It's so interesting because I've kind of approached Bigfoot as, they always say write what you know. Well, this has always been a write what you don't know thing. So that means
Hmm.
do a lot of research. And
Yeah.
I've been blown away by the different creatures that we've researched in the process. Whether it's,
Mhm.
you talked about, I won't go into some of this actually, because I don't want to spoil things for later. But like
Oh
a
yeah,
good
yeah.
example
Gotcha.
was the Chilean Alicante, which is this firebird almost. I wouldn't quite call it a phoenix, but
Mhm.
but different interpretations of it have it almost like a phoenix to a bird, a bird man,
Yeah, like with
and
Bigfoot,
so
you have Sasquatch and bottomless snowman, all that stuff.
right, yeah, yetis and things like that. So we used in issue two, we used the Bigfoot, we used the Alicante in there, but we made them made of electricity, and
Mhm.
so changed the name to the Electricante, and that was something that took place in the opening pages of Bigfoot two when he was in the real or in the Unreal, which is you know there's a lot of astral projection going on in Bigfoot. If you haven't kind of figured that out yet
Yeah.
in the first two issues, and so yeah, so we had a lot of fun with the Electricante, getting to play riff off of that, and I think that's a good way to put it is riffing. It's like when you're a musician and you're just kind of just jamming and riffing with each other. That's what we're doing. We're playing.
Mhm.
It's like cryptid jazz, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like you were saying with Casey, he was on for the
Yeah.
first Bigfoot Knows Karate, and he's your
Yep.
co-writer. But you were saying that he did more with this story. Like, really talk about
Big
how you
time.
guys got the idea of this concept for this
I mean,
story.
really, this is I'll say again, this is Casey's jam. This book,
Hmm.
I get to play proud papa.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really how I feel about it. Is I get to play Proud Papa this book and watch, two people, grow and thrive with this. But the idea came from we wanted something that was a self-contained story.
Hmm.
Okay. If you didn't read issues 1 and 2 of Bigfoot, which were, Casey and I wrote, I drew full color, has a long arc that we're working through.
Yeah.
This is something that you can come in and just really get into the artwork, enjoy the smash 'em up aspect of it. But
Hmm.
for our readers who are, loyal to chapters 1 and 2, there's going to be something in there for them too. You know what
Gotcha.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
And we really tried to come up with something that was different from the first chapters of the book. We wanted to show Bigfoot in a back in time,
Yeah.
because
I
as you'll
remember
get
that.
to know, yeah, as you'll get to know that this character has lived far longer than just the regular human lifespan, and so
Hmm.
this issue actually takes place in feudal Japan, which is uh, which is interesting in and of itself. So, and then he's dealing with a local town as a town is dealing with like a local monster of lore. Then
Hmm.
he is it's kind of our monster of the week type book, but
Okay. Gotcha.
there's yeah, but there's so much. There's just a little bit of a twist at the end there that really just kind of pulls it together in a nice way. But the story is just action packed, and the artwork is looking kick ass. And in case he's weaved a great little story here, not little story. I don't want to make it sound like that. He's just weaved a really great tale. Um, and it was cool because on the main arc, I'm a bit more of a control freak about things, and
Hmm.
so for Casey, this is he gets to play with the go play with the toys, and have a great time with it, and do as he wants to do, and it's great getting to watch him pace the book how Casey would pace it, not pace it the way I would pace it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I
And
gotcha.
and just because we're different writers, we write together, and I think we write together really well.
Hmm.
But it's great to see him be able to do it, his way. And and I'm editing the project with him, so and I'm helped with the writing, but it's I really wanted to let him kind of break free and do his thing. And this is the cover right here for issue
Yeah.
two.
Beautiful
So,
work.
oh
And
yeah, it's amazing. Uh,
like
Adam
because
Caswell did the artwork, and then the colors were done by a guy named Luis Thomas.
yeah.
He's Draw Erase Repeat on Instagram. He's a great guy.
Yeah. I mean, I know you guys didn't do the artwork, but as as an artist and everything, or just as a comic book writer, it's like, okay, you're gonna want this type of creature in there. How would you go about
Mhm.
approaching it? Because, like you said, it's a water serpent. So it's like,
Mhm.
do we do we want it to be like this, where it's like different shades of blue? But how do you go about like making it look like water, but not making it where it's true transparent and you're kind of hiding the detail? So yeah, as the writer, like, did you really have any say on how you wanted to really approach it, or you just gave the artist the ability to create something that came from their mind?
Well, considering that one of the differences between this book and the previous ones is this is
Mhm.
actually going to be black and white interiors. So,
Gotcha.
which really meant that we, trust your artist.
Hmm.
That's the big
Yeah.
thing. You know, um, there's some film directors who will, give lines to their actors. This is how I'll give you a line read. This is how I want you to read that. Do the line, and
Yeah.
that's like an overstep. In the way we approach things is here's the script, here's how the panel description, but please go interpret this as you would like.
Hmm.
This wasn't one of those stories where we did character sketches ahead of time.
Yeah.
Really, Adam went and did. I didn't provide that. Adam went crazy and came up with, what we gave him some parameters. of outfits for the time period that needed to be in there. But when it
Mhm.
came to the Mizuchi, the water dragon, he really went to town on it himself, and it was really cool to see him just
Yeah, because I mean,
let his
it
mind
definitely
blow up
has
and
like those
explode.
that ancient Japan like artwork style to it.
Hmm.
Like if you looked at like old Japanese scrolls where they did
Hmm.
artwork on them, that definitely looks like something that would come out of Japan. And as an
Yeah,
artist,
it's
that's kind of
definitely got a
difficult
vibe.
too,
Yeah,
because you need to make sure that not just the type of clothes that people are wearing, but like
sure.
if a monster was based around that culture, you really have to capture it. It's like if you're going to draw a dragon in Japan, it can't be looking like the American
From
European dragon with the
DMP.
wings.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So it's it's water. That's the
Mhm.
nice part is that, it is water, so you can shape shift and form the character as you need to,
Oh yeah,
which
for
is
sure.
something that makes it, all that much more exciting, to play with.
Oh yeah, not just as an artist, but as a writer. I bet uh you were saying Casey did most of this, but like trying to find ways to really capture that monster in the writing and make it stand out really well.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's I give Casey, like I said, I just give him all the credit in the world for what he's put
Mhm.
together with this for sure.
Most definitely. And do you guys know what the like with the Kickstarter and everything? I have it in the description. When is it going to start?
It starts September 20th.
Oh, so
September
pretty
20th.
soon.
Yeah, pretty soon. We're going to be doing a live launch party on Instagram, and that'll start at 6:30 that evening Central Time, and we're going to go from there. At 7 o'clock, we'll press the button live,
Hmm.
and we'll have a slew of different artists and writers coming into the room, hanging out with us. Getting to just have some fun on the live with us that night. And we also did a draw this in your style contest a little while back, so we will be announcing the winners for that contest that
Very cool.
evening. So definitely a lot to take a look at because we actually, we have 5 spots that we were, doing pinups for in the back of the book, our
Hmm.
deluxe edition. I'll talk about that in just a second. But we received over like I think that was like 27 pieces, 27 entries for this Draw This in Your Style contest. So
Yeah.
we got our work kind of cut out for us on this one, trying to make come up with what the winners are going to be. But it's going to be tough. I will say that right now. But the winners are going to be included in the deluxe edition of the book, like other Kickstarters that we've done in the past. This will have a regular edition with the story, and this is going to be I think 24 pages, but I think it's going to get extended out to 26. But it'll be the regular story. Plus, then we're also going to do the deluxe edition that has the cover by Andy Bloor. And
Hmm.
that is going to have the same story plus the art gallery and deluxe our director's commentary roundtable discussion video. So, like we've done with previous deluxe editions, it will have the roundtable discussion as well for people to check out. And it'll be myself, Adam, Casey, and a few other folks who just to discuss the project in full. And then
Very
we're
cool.
also doing we've done 4 covers on a book in the past. This time around, we're only doing 3, but the third one is going to be a foil cover, a deluxe edition foil cover by Dennis Valencia from Slate Comics and Savage Sandbox, and he's really delivered on that. So we've got those 3 covers that we're doing this time around, and um, you know, couldn't be more excited about the campaign because we got some cool tiers this time for
Yeah.
sure.
Talk a little bit about the tiers and what you're going to be offering.
Hmm. So we are doing a deluxe or a digital copy, and I'm going to try and remember price points, but I might get some of these wrong because I don't have them in front of me. I'm doing this on my phone. But we're doing the digital copies for I think $4.
Hmm.
The print copies are going to be $8 a piece. You can do a catch up for both the digital and the physical, where you can get issues 1, 2, and Hinagon. They'll also be, like I said, we'll have the regular edition, And then there'll be the deluxe edition by Andy with the cover by Andy Bloor that has the art gallery, and that's probably going to be with everything with it, sketches and everything. There's going to be at least 10 pages worth of art gallery that we're going to be doing in there, and plus the director's commentary video that comes in that. The foil cover is beautiful. I can't wait for people to get to see that one. It's out of this world. But yeah, and then we also have sketch covers for the first time. So you can buy a 2-pack of blank sketch covers if you're interested in that, or you can even get Adam Caswell to do a Bigfoot commission on a sketch cover for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something different. And then we are doing the retailer packs again. Those were really successful on the last campaign that we did. And it was really great getting a lot of retailers, out there picking up our books. So you'll have the retailer pack option this time around as well. And on top of that, something that's really funny is, I don't know if you've ever seen that we have a Bigfoot Knows Karate Fiend Club World Championship belt. But
that's awesome.
yeah, we do. I don't have it here. It's at the convention center right now. But if I did, that would have been better. I could have held the belt. Let me tell you something, brother. But
right.
Instead, but we are actually we're going to have the belt up for sale. It'll be a new one, not the one I carry around from convention to convention. But I'll sign the book. I'll sign your books. You'll get all the books. You'll get the belt. I'll sign everything, including the belt. Mail that out to you. So there is a championship edition, tier this time around, which is rather pricey. But if you're interested, it is available for, I think it's like $450 when it's all because it's not like I'm telling you, this belt's nothing to sneeze at. It's like 6 pounds of metal, and it's like a simulated leather. I mean, it's pretty cool. So definitely something that people can check out if they'd like.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, you hear that from there, guys. You got a lot of cool stuff. If to buy, just save up your money and get what you need.
Sure. There's definitely some good options in there. There's definitely some tiers for folks. At all price points, we really try to make the digital copies affordable, the print copies affordable. I mean, how often do you actually get like a regular edition comics for print for under $10 on Kickstarter? We're doing $8 for this. So because it's black and white, I can't justify in my head charging more than $8 for a black and white comic. That's just me. You know what I mean? But
most definitely.
We want to make it affordable for people. I've always tried to keep books under 10, for like $9, and we're continuing that with this book for sure.
And it's a 22 page, or how many pages?
No, 24, 26 pages. I think it's at 26 pages right now.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Very awesome. Now with Bigfoot Knows Karate, like, do you guys plan to do more with the character in the future, or is there like a point where like, okay, this is going to be the end point and this is where his story is going to finally end? It's like, is that like a year, 2 years down the road, or how's
a couple of years down the road, we're going to have, we'll be finishing up the first arc. It takes me a while to draw these things, but we have the first arc completely finished out, and it was going to end with the first arc. And then Casey says to me, how about we write in an epilogue? I said, okay. So this is what I'm thinking. So here's the deal. We'll keep this machine going as long as people want to read it, I think, is how it's going to work. Whether I'm drawing every issue or not is, debatable. I will draw the first 5 issues of, the first arc. I will draw that all the way through. The second arc will be somebody else. I don't know who that will be yet, and then I'll come back and do a one shot, and things like that, do a long form one shot. But, I want to be able to, I want to be able to enjoy drawing this comic. That would be a nice thing. But in order to do that, I've got to breathe too. I've got to let other artists take over on the artwork and still be very involved in writing the stories, with Casey and having fun with that. But it will be, something that I will allow, like we're doing with this side story right here with Hinagon. this is good for me. This is like, this is cathartic, letting go a little bit and letting people, play with the toys, like I said, and make something new and different and unique, different from what I bring to the table.
Oh
And
yeah.
we have plans for other one shot comics like this, stuff that falls, in different time periods with for the character that are integral but can be read as a one shot and still be okay to keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I mean, when
Yeah.
you're doing not just the writing but the artwork, I mean,
Hmm.
it's fun to do, but at the time, it just takes so much of your time where you're doing most of the creative aspect, but you're not out there like doing the promoting to get
And you
people
got to be
in
able to do
this.
the promoting too.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to do it both.
And then sometimes it takes a little bit longer because I don't because you're doing the artwork and it's like, okay, I got to now go back and fix this writing because I thought of this that I might want to add a little bit more detail on. So yeah, it's very time consuming, and sometimes
It's
we're our own worst critics. So it's great to have other people to take over for a little bit.
Yeah, I criticized them for a while, right? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
But no, seriously, I mean, we've been really lucky and, grateful that received such support from the audience in regards to, all the different fan art we've received. I mean, at this point it's over 150 pieces that people sent in,
very
and
awesome.
getting to find artists that we just really enjoy through that process and be able to work with them. I mean, Adam, who's been the cover artist for the first couple of issues and now is doing this book,
Hmm.
he he started off as a fan artist. That's how we met. He did fan art, and and sent me this beautiful piece of work for issue one, and would eventually became the deluxe edition cover of issue one. When I saw that, I was like, wow, okay, we've got something here. And he was like, I want to be part of Team Bigfoot Knows Karate. So he's Team BFKK, him, me, Casey. We, uh, we will continue, to do stuff with Adam, you know, whether it be the doing one shots or he's working on covers, whatever. We love having him,
Hmm.
as a part of the team. So it's been really great getting this experience with him for sure.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's what's the great thing about the indie community is that
Sure.
we're all working together to survive, just basically get our work out there because we're not
Yeah.
going to get our work out there where millions of people are going to see, but we could get thousands of people to see where we could like it's not about the money, it helps, but we all just have a story and we want to be able to do that in a comic book format because we just love that the whole, media of
Yeah. We
comics.
love. Yeah. No, I mean it's a completely underrated art form these days, but it is one of the best ways to tell a story, bar none.
Yeah,
In
sadly,
terms
like
of,
James Gunn, he said it's a dying form. I'm like, I hope not.
you know, you know what, you do it because you love it. That's the only
Exactly.
reason that you're doing it
Exactly.
is you do it because you love it.
And
Um,
I feel the indie community is growing stronger than like the bigger companies at this point because they're just
oh,
focusing on not just good artwork but good content as writing.
I mean, whether it's a Boom Studios or a Action Labs or whatever,
Hmm.
all the way to like the true indie small press, creators. There's so much great stuff going on out there.
Hmm.
I find myself to be one of the very lucky ones in terms of just getting to meet amazing creators and getting to, get to work together as a community. Because I always kind of feel like if somebody hits hard and makes them make for themselves, that's a win for everybody.
Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
Casey and I, we've been really lucky to connect with lesser known comics this year and become part of the lesser known label, and which has been a lot of fun getting to be under the same umbrella as books like either them or us, or Yuriko or Tank
Mhm.
McGregor. I mean, there's so many great books under the lesser known line, Tights. We've been so lucky to get to be a part of that. So, and finding your finding your spot in this community, where
Mhm.
where your comfort spot, where you're good friends and you're good people and that sort of thing. Man, when you find that, it's just it really is incredible because you don't feel so alone out here.
Yeah,
And I don't think
it's
I've
all about
really
networking. That's what big time is, networking.
yeah, networking, yes, but I think it's more, it's when I think of networking, I think of it like,
More like
you
colleagues
know,
instead of friends.
yeah, and I think that what's nice is that yes, I mean I got friends that yeah I got my regular friends, but those people that in the indie community, that we're comic book, we're comic book, creators. We
Mhm.
we are comrades in that way, or however you want to put it, colleagues in that way. But we're also you just dig what each other's doing
Yeah,
to the point
exactly.
where and like I mean a good example. There's a cat here in Baltimore. I just had dinner with him and Drew Edwards and his wife. It was his name's Dee Hausner, and he does a book called Kid Nebula. And I love Kid Nebula, man. And getting to know Dee has been incredible. We've only known each other over Instagram. We do live draws and that sort of thing. But here we are, eating dinner together and hanging out and just that's the best. That's the best when you get to meet people that you admire their work and get to, and finally get to hang out and get to know them. Or when you meet people that on Instagram, people who follow your
Mhm.
comic and that sort of thing, and you get to shake hands with them for all the
Yeah,
time
for
and
sure.
say thank you for all the times they backed you or supported what you're doing or like, shared, subscribed, whatever people do on social, retweet,
Mhm.
whatever. Um, it's just really gratifying because you know that you're not working in a vacuum.
Yeah,
You
because
know, yeah,
that's the thing. Sometimes as artists and creators, we're just telling our regular friends, "Oh, I can't go out. I got to do this," and you just mostly just sit in the corner of your room and do the
yeah,
artwork or do the writing. But like meeting other people who do the same thing,
they
they're
get
able
it.
to connect to you on that
Yeah,
level,
absolutely, absolutely.
even if it's just from like webtoons to physical comic. It's not easy, but it's fun when you accomplish it.
Agreed, agreed. I cannot agree with you anymore.
And with Bigfoot Knows Karate, like, have you guys at this point like gotten not just like fan art, but have people been doing cosplays and stuff? Because I could see
Oh,
some
haven't
cool
seen
people
that
do
yet.
cosplays, right?
Oh, I could see some cool people doing cosplays too. I haven't seen that yet. Maybe somebody will surprise me this weekend, but
Right,
wouldn't that be fun to see somebody dressed up in a Bigfoot wearing a gi? You know,
right. That'd be
that would
pretty
be
cool.
that would be pretty neat.
Yeah.
I one time had a woman who cosplayed the Visible Woman, for me when
Hmm.
I was doing Masters of the Obvious. But to see somebody dressed up like Bigfoot knows karate, wow, that would be cool.
Yeah, for
Benny
sure.
Benny in the flesh, man. So yeah, it would be neat.
And
But no, the fan art is cool.
I know I asked about this the first time we talked about this, but with Bigfoot, was that just an idea that you guys came up with, or is it like, okay, we're gonna have this urban legend mythical creature face against other ones instead of just going with a regular human?
Oh no, it was always Bigfoot all the
Hmm.
time. I mean, yeah, no, I mean originally Bigfoot was supposed to be part of the Latex Avenger universe,
Okay.
and it was going to be a comedy. It was Bigfoot Knows Karate was going to be a comedy,
Hmm.
and I think people expect it to be a comedy still based on the name. But I
Yeah.
think as people read it now, they're starting to realize no, it's not a comedy. It's definitely a there's definitely some high voltage action going on here.
Oh yeah, it has
Um,
some action, gore, horror elements to
yeah,
it.
absolutely. And so, you know, um, but no, originally the book was supposed to be. he was gonna, the Bigfoot gets injured by like a bear or something like that, and
Hmm.
the martial arts master finds him in the woods and takes him back to his his home and heals him and trains him, and and then there's something goes on between him and another student, and the other student takes out the martial arts master, and now Bigfoot has to go for revenge. So
Yeah.
that plot we've seen about a billion times, right?
Yeah.
And but he was going to go on this Kane-like journey, and he was going to end up in like a small suburban town of a major, like Dallas or something like that,
Hmm.
working in a mall at a corn dog on a stick, and going to junior college. And he had a girlfriend who was like 11 months pregnant, but she was never showing. It was all really ridiculous, and so it just didn't work at
Yeah.
all. It
Hmm.
just didn't work at all, and so we shelved that, and then Casey saw me starting to doodle the character. But this time, he had this more introspective look about him,
Hmm.
and he was like, "What are you going to do with this?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know yet, but when I do know, you'll be the first to find out." And started weaving together this complex story I mean, if you've read issues 1 and 2,
Yep.
he's gone through, he starts as this creature of the forest, and
Hmm.
then he's like, caught up in this entire, oh God, I don't even know how to explain it to somebody without, spoiling the whole book. Go to Kickstarter and go to get the catch up tier, guys. You'll appreciate it. You'll dig it.
Yeah.
Um,
You'll definitely not be disappointing, guys. They're really good books.
I mean, it started off as like, the concept started off as like, nobody knows the character exists.
Hmm.
Nobody knows the creature exists. By the second issue, it's like, what's better to not exist? Nobody knows you exist, or everyone wants a piece of your ass. And that's
Yeah.
what issue 2 was, more about.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know where I was going with this, but
Well, he's
yeah, I
basically a
mean,
lone samurai, you know.
well, very much so. He's like, but he's getting some characters to hang out with along the way, whether
Hmm.
it's the little bunny rabbit that he found in issue 1, or now this new character that showed up in issue 2, Iris. And really excited to see where Iris goes in the next issue for sure. I think she's a good addition to the story.
Very cool. Now,
Yeah.
with you guys saying the arcs and everything, like, do you guys have any like one offs like this that's not part of the main story coming up,
I
or
mean,
you're just focusing on like
absolutely.
the main one after
Well,
this?
the next one that comes up after this will be chapter 3 of the main
Okay,
arc.
gotcha.
Then we do have one that we're working on that is more of a one shot that is more of a horror themed piece that I'm
Hmm.
really excited about. And then we've got about 2 or 3 that we're talking out right now that will be one shot Bigfoot stories. And then while those are being written and drawn by other creators, or by Casey and myself on the writing, but other other artists on taking care of the artwork, I will continue to do chapter you work on chapter 3, which is chapter 3, Hellhound on My Trail. That is the book that I'm currently drawing on and writing on right now. So that's more my focus is the main arc, and then Casey gets to lead the charge on the side stories more, which is really a lot of fun.
Gotcha. And I know before
Excuse
we
me.
were going live, you're you're at a hotel because you're doing a con. Are you there to promote
Yep.
uh just Bigfoot, or you got your other books to go as well?
No, I left everything else that I've done at home. All I'm doing this entire convention is Bigfoot Knows Karate. That is it. I've made the decision finally to go ahead and just leave some of the old stuff back at
Mhm.
the house and just focus entirely on the Bigfoot book.
Very cool.
Um, yeah, I love the old stuff and it was great, but it was a long time ago. Maybe I'll bust it out for a convention here, a convention there, but I really want to focus on Bigfoot Knows Karate these days. I really want that to be the main thrust. so to speak. When I'm done with this first arc, then I'll start working on something different,
Mhm.
outside of Bigfoot. I already have that project figured out, what that's going to be. So it's just a matter of having the time to execute it.
Very cool.
Yeah, man.
Well, we're up to 40 minutes. I mean, do
Okay.
you want to talk about anything else on the top of your mind? I mean, I pretty much asked you before what's your favorite scary movies and stuff like that before. So,
Sure.
you know,
Um, yeah, I don't think those answers have changed still. So,
yeah.
Bride of Frankenstein probably is number one on my list
Hmm.
of horror movies. Um, you know what? I think I'm good, man. I'm just. It's been a long week. I got back from I was working in Europe for my day job, and so I just got over jet lag for that, and I've been going since early in the morning, getting up here to Baltimore today. So.
Hmm.
All I just want to say real quick is, first of all, thank you to anyone and everyone who has backed this comic or supported this comic or let us be on their podcast for this comic. Really loved working on Bigfoot Knows Karate and really grateful for everybody who's allowed us to keep making the comic. Please come out to the live launch party September 20th, live on Kickstarter and live on Instagram. You can get my Instagram handle there and my name on my little do hit right there. Okay, get my name right there. And at Denomite139, follow me on Instagram. Watch the live launch. We're going to have a great time that night. We're going to be giving away some prize packs as well as announcing the Draw This in Your Style contest winners. And you'll have your opportunity to get the early bird packages for Bigfoot Knows Karate Hinagon. Whether they're catch up tiers. There's two different early birds. Can't remember them off the top of my head. Definitely worthwhile though. So take a look at that. And then the campaign will go live September 20th, 7 o'clock. Uh, Please be a part of this. We've really got something special for you guys, and I hope you really enjoy it.
Very cool. Well, you heard it there,
Cool.
everybody. I hope you all have a great night and see you all next time.
Thanks for having me, man.
Not a problem.